Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Thursday, February the 8th. Race number 8 at Gulfstream Park. This is a wide open 5/8 of a mile dash on the Tapeta surface. First level allowance, $75,000 claiming option, 3-year-old fillies. We take a look at this field. It's a full field. 12 in the body of the race. The 13 Correa is an also eligible. Pretty Liam, Todd Pletcher, Arad Ortiz. This horse 9-5 on the morning line off an 85 Beyer speed figure, sprinting in her debut.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards agreeing with you, Dan, that this is a wide open race. It might not be wide open though if Pretty Liam runs back to her debut.
Let's throw up the time form U.S. pace projector if we take a look at 9 through 13 with some promising horses, including San Pantaleo on the outside. Time form U.S. believes this pace could be fast. Iced Coffee, the number 3, went gate to wire in her career debut for Christophe Clement. She'll get Lasix for the first time in here, and maybe she's faster than the 8, although I do think I'm About to Go is pretty quick as well.
I do too. It's going to be interesting to see how this pace plays out because the 3, Iced Coffee, she was alert from the gate and she was fast in her debut. I'm About to Go wasn't alert from the gate in her debut, but man, was she fast. If she breaks this time, they might have a tough time keeping her from the lead.
Reigning Sugar, the number 1, cutting back from routes to sprints as your fastest time form U.S. late pace rating. Would appreciate a fast pace up front. This one's also going to get blinkers for the first time for Riley Mott. Tried her going 2 turns last time out, Mike, going 1 mile and a 16th, passed some tired horses late. I know she's won sprinting in the past. I wonder if 5/8 is a little too sharp.
Yeah, especially when you're dropping back out of 2 8.5 furlong races, it just makes it that much tougher, Dan. I guess the flip side of that is they stretched her out for her last 2. She didn't run great either time. And the only win is the only time they went this distance with her in her career debut. It wasn't on this surface, though.
A big price that you might want to consider, at least underneath, is the 2 Scootaloo, who is 30-1 on the morning line. This horse won on dirt 2 starts back, a maiden race, and just was overmatched against a promising odds-on winner in the Glitter Woman last time out. She's by Matoli. The dam won on synthetic. She is foaled a synthetic winner, so maybe the surface is what she wants.
The surface, which could certainly work to her advantage. And, you know, for a horse who has at least one race that gives her some kind of chance in here and is going to be some kind of big price in here, you could do worse than guessing with a horse like her. Maybe her running style doesn't really fit this race that well, though.
Iced Coffee is the number 3. Let's watch her career debut for Clement. Tyler Gaffalione set off at 9-2. She went to the front. She took some strong pressure around the turn and into the stretch, but she's going to shrug off this horse to her outside, and she wins with a very respectable 72 Beyer.
Yeah, she did a lot of good things in here. That horse to her outside was another first-time starter in that race who just seemed really well meant that day, Dan. But Iced Coffee broke alertly, had good speed, put that horse away through the stretch, did a lot of good things there.
Twirling Queen is the number 4. This horse will be making her first start since October off of a trainer change in a first start on a synthetic surface. She's by Twirling Candy. The Twirling Candies do everything, so I really don't worry about surface for a Twirling Candy progeny. Twirling Queen ran in a very fast-paced race at Keeneland last time out. She was the beaten favorite that day. She didn't look comfortable in the stretch. She looked like a filly that needed a break.
Yeah, and she got one. So we'll see if she comes back here in better form. Just sort of steadily declined last year after the debut win on dirt at Ellis Park. Just sort of never ran back to that in her next 3 starts, but she was in pretty tough in most of those races. I mean, just a real wild card here. Going to be a price, Lasix on, switching surfaces. Saez sticks with her, so that's probably a good thing as well. I mean, I'm not going to bet her, but I won't be surprised when she runs a better race here.
The number 5, Dot's going to make her 3rd start off of about a 3-month layoff. She ran on turf last time out, and she sort of fell a little bit too far behind in the early part of that race. Tough to win going 5/8 on the turf at Gulfstream from far out of it. Her prior race on synthetic off the layoff, she showed better tactical speed.
Yeah, she did. I actually thought she ran okay in that race, 2 starts back on this surface. I have no problem with that performance. Your point's well taken about her last start. You don't want to be trying to make up that kind of ground sprinting on the grass. Little bit of a wild card here. Fair price. I could use this horse.
Pretty Liam is your morning line favorite and your horse to beat coming off this 85 Beyer victory, going 5/8 on the synth. Worked out a pretty good trip in behind the leaders, got to the outside. Once she gets some clear air, she blows by them, and she's going to win despite drifting out a bit at the end.
Yeah, she does drift out here. Boy, she puts in a big run through the stretch, though, Dan. And she had the speed to keep up. The horse that she's steamrolling right now is a Christophe Clement first-time starter who was favored. Clement always has his first-time starters ready. I'm going to say that horse ran her race that day, and Pretty Liam just steamrolled her through the stretch. That was a very impressive debut.
The 7 is Fairhope Curley. She was claimed for $75,000, 2 starts backed by Safi Joseph. First start for that barn came in a 5/8 turf race, first level allowance, and all in all, the trip's there for her. She's going to get the run of the rail. She looks like she's got all the momentum. She just can't pass these horses up front. Maybe the pace worked against her. They basically ran 1, 2, 3 all the way around.
Yeah, maybe. Boy, she has every chance to get the job done here, Dennis. To me, she's just not quite good enough, but it's still a good performance. It was an improvement off what she had done for her prior trainer. They're going to switch back here to the all-weather. Her only all-weather start isn't a good performance, so we'll see if this is her surface.
Surprise, surprise, Wesley Ward had the 8 I'm About to Go ready to go in her career debut. Ward excels with first-time starters, and I'm About to Go just popped right to the front in this 5/8 turf event in early December, goes on to win, and one of the also-rans came back to place on dirt with a 77 Beyer speed figure, getting Lasix for the first time. She'll show speed.
Yeah, it doesn't change leads in the stretch here, but she settled this thing quickly when she was asked to do so. And again, I think the most important part of this race, then she did not get out of the gate that well, sort of away towards the back of the field, but she was fast. As soon as she sort of found her footing, she shot right up to the front, kept going. Really, really strong performance. I thought, I don't know if she wants this surface, but if she does, she's dangerous.
Bubbly Champagne, the number 9, never off the board from 5 lifetime starts, gets a Lasix and blinkers reboot for Jose D'Angelo with a runner-up effort going 5/8 of a mile. She got wired this day. It's not like the pace was very fast. I was concerned that Bubbly Champagne just couldn't keep up in the early part of it. She's going to get to the outside and she's going to rally a little bit to get up for second, while no match for this odds-on winner. Maybe she can stay a little bit close to the pace. I think she needs to, because 5/8 could be sharp for her.
Yeah, it really could be. And more than anything else in this race, I mean, listen, it just kind of feels like she sucked up for second there. She was never involved. Everybody was chasing that front running odds on favorite winner. They all got tired. I just sort of felt like Bubbly Champagne picked up some pieces there. I was disappointed in that race. And I know she made it close to back then. I don't know. I don't think that race was as close as the final margin made it look.
Kimichis, the number 10, has been running on dirt, has been running on turf. This will be the synthetic debut for the daughter of American Pharaoh, who wins 16% with his synthetic sprinters. Another one that just sort of didn't get early position last time out, and I think it cost her. I think that last race actually was a little bit better than it looks on paper.
I thought she ran pretty well in that race too. I don't mind them switching surfaces again. We'll see how it all works out. I mean, those are always tough things to evaluate. The only win so far with a competitive figure when she was on the lead going short on dirt. So I don't love that about her, but she showed she could pass horses last time.
2.5-month layoff for the 11 DeMars Legacy, who's really done nothing wrong from 3 lifetime starts. 2 wins, including this first level allowance, going 5.5 furlongs. She's cruising into the stretch on the lead. Bubbly Champagne will make it relatively close at the wire, but DeMars Legacy just looks like she has a nice turn of foot, Mike, and she has the tactical speed where she can maybe get forward without losing too much ground and stay close to the pace.
Yeah, I like that about her too. This is a good performance. She's getting a little tired at the end of this race. This was the race we were talking about, the last Bubbly Champagne race. I don't know. I just didn't really feel like that race was as close as the final margin made it appear. I thought DeMars Legacy, there were things to like about this horse in here if she can get the right trip.
San Pantaleo, the number 12, earns a competitive speed figure, 2 starts back, sprinting on the turf at Aqueduct. Showed very good speed that day and just basically made hay on the lead. They tried her 2 turns in the Ginger Brew last time out. She went quick on the lead. I'm not going to hold that race against her. The runner-up just came back to win the Swedish Chant, a grade 3 with an 85 Beyer. She does have speed. This is not an ideal post position with speeds to her inside, and I think she'll eventually do better. It's slightly longer than 5/8.
Yeah, I'm worried about the distance with her too. And listen, I know that sometimes these surfaces can be interchangeable, but I never look at races that way. She's a turf horse to me. I don't know. I don't really want to bet her switching surfaces here, especially at something like the 5-1 morning line. That's not enough price for me to get interested.
And on the also eligible is Correa, would be seeking her 3rd straight win. She's eligible for this condition because she won a Florida bred, one other than last time out. Another horse with tactical speed and improving figures. I wouldn't want to completely toss her out at a good price, but she's going to have to really work something out from this post.
Yeah, she's run well in all 3 of her starts, but I do think this is the toughest race she's been in so far.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for our Thursday race of the day. Mike, you're going to go with the horse to beat. That's Pretty Liam. She's my 2nd selection, and if she runs back to that figure of her debut, she's going to be really tough.
I just really liked her debut, Dan. So I'm not going to play against her in this, but I think there's a chance that she's pretty good. I have her on top. If I decided to bet against her, it would be with the Ward horse, the 8.
Bubbly Champagne, the number 9, is going to need to move up. But maybe the blinkers and Lasix combination will help her do that and get closer to the pace. She's been consistent. Now I want to see her actually show like a stronger turn of foot in the stretch. 6-8, 3-12 for Mike, 9-6, 12-11 for me. It's your Thursday race of the day, the 8th at Gulfstream. Best of luck.